Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Cookiecast. Today it's the NFL Fantasy Podcast with Week 2 review, Week 3 preview. Today on the show we've got a special guest joining us over the phone, which is something new that we've not tried before, and listening back to it, I think it went really well. So how did you do this week? Did you win in your fantasy league? Did you lose? Some of us, like me, didn't do so well in one of our leagues. Better in the other league, but that's something else for another podcast, let's say. So yeah, check out what we were thinking about the week 2 so far. Check out what our thoughts are for the upcoming games of week 3 and who we've got in our matchups. I was joined by my co-host Paul Williams, and we had James Forrester Gray on the phone. So check this out and see what you think to this.
Go. Is the light flashing?
I believe the light is flashing.
The audio's going, which is always a good start. There we now look. The light's flashing on that one. Right, it's podcast time. Let's do this. Give it one of them. That's me sitting down. So this week on the Cookiecast NFL podcast, my co-host, Mr. Paul Williams.
Hello there.
And all the way from sunny
Newcastle upon Tyne,
we've got JFG on the phone. Say hello, James.
Hi, how's it going? Hi, how are you doing?
We are well, and we presume our podcast listeners are well too. For the audio listeners out there, you won't be able to see what we've done to the cabin in the woods. For the YouTube watchers, look, we made an effort. We made an actual effort. We got a guest from all the way down the road. We got, props. We're recording. We've got video. It's almost like a real podcast.
Yes, it's amazing. It's something to behold.
So, we've got James on the phone. We've got me and Paul here. Let's dive in. Week 2, NFL season 2018. Go for Paul Williams.
Well, the less we say about the actual fantasy, probably the best. As I'm sure James will come to when we get to him with his first win of the season. Oh, is it? No, it's not. It's the second win of the season. Sorry, I do apologise.
2-0, best start ever. After last year's a pitiable start.
So, I'd like to point out this point in time. Not only is it week 2, not only have we got props, not only have we got somebody on the phone, I even watched some games this week and made some MF notes.
Excellent.
James, in case you're wondering, please don't say shit, bugger or cunt on the podcast, because we're family for. Oh no, wait. You can say whatever you want. Just say.
There's no restrictions on this one. So.
I'll keep it PG.
PG-13. A little bit of boob action.
All right. 12A. We're in Britain.
Yeah, there we go. 12A.
12A. Dropped it right down. Jeez. So, shall we? As you can't use your phone.
Yeah, it's just on me. I can't give you the update.
We'll go into the fantasy for this week. Right.
Just got to scroll through his many fantasies.
My multiple, all 2 of them fantasy leagues. So let's start with the big game of the week, and that was this guy versus the only female member left in our big league.
Yes, indeed.
Miss Leanne Davies, who would have loved to have been here this evening, but she is currently sunning herself in Italy. She absolutely destroyed me with 94 points to 57. As I said to you,
that's somewhat of a pace in that.
And I said to other people looking at my bench, I'm quite happy to say there is absolutely nothing I could have done different other than maybe playing Golden Tate.
Yeah, but that still wouldn't have got you anywhere near.
No, it really wouldn't. Let's move on. I don't know some of these people. Some of these names are... Foosball is the devil.
That's our esteemed colleague.
Is JFG versus Hyde and Zeke, Paul Williams. Gentlemen, would you like to discuss what might have happened this week?
James, the floor is yours.
Go, James, go.
There is absolutely no reasonable reason I should have won that match.
Brilliant. Always good to hear.
Apart from Russell Wilson just not being Russell Wilson at all.
Yeah,
what the hell is up with the Seahawks this year?
I must admit, I did try and tune in for a little bit of the games last night, and in the first half, it just looked like Khalil Mack was just all over him.
Yeah, I mean he's a game changer in anything on those in those sorts of matchups.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's a beast. Looking at you boys' benches, Paul Williams. Want to explain why you've got an empty slot on your bench? The actual fuck.
I don't actually know with that one. I dropped somebody and I've just not picked somebody up.
Absolutely.
I have put in a waiver claim, but I'm not going to say who for, obviously, because that would really scupper my chances of getting said players.
And for JFG, the only real choice that you could have made different would have possibly been playing Andy Dalton. But let's face it, who would have done that?
Half the season you cannot trust Andy Dalton.
That is
Are Cincinnati legit this year?
That's what I was just about to say. To give him his due, first two games he's played this season, he's had
a stormer.
Good.
He's had an absolute stormer.
He's always going to have AJ Green as a target.
Oh God, I love AJ Green on the team.
He's always going to have that option to him. So, and I've got a friend. Shock! It's a podcast, and I'm going to mention Steve Brown's name.
Jesus fucking.
Who has a season-long bet of the Bengals to make the playoffs. And he got that at 8-1, and he's sitting pretty with that at the minute. So.
That might not be. I wonder what the odds are now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I bet that's come right in. Seems like the Steelers are 0-1, or 0-1.
Mm.
So,
isn't this the second week in the season that there's been a tie game? Another tie game.
Back-to-back ties. I think they covered it on Red Zone on Sunday. That it's the first time. Oh, was it? It was either last season or 2 seasons ago. They had 2 weeks with back-to-back tie games in it. It doesn't happen that often, but it has happened again.
So Squirrel Killers, the boy Lacey versus everyone's favourite hero Matthew Toots Hurley. No surprises here. Matthew Hurley romped home 96-73.
He's got
again. Tim's got like nothing sitting on his bench. There's only one player that's outside of 10 points. Didn't help that the Ravens decided to drop a -2 on his chest.
Yeah, that's not good.
The defences are getting just hammered. I mean,
again though, no one would have seen that coming after the first week against Buffalo. I mean, true, Buffalo are terrible.
But you'd generally bank on Cincinnati being a fairly weak team, wouldn't you?
I was going to say, no one's scrambling around to pick up the Bengals' defence anytime soon.
Matthew Hurley decided to play Stafford, which, you know, probably a good. I can't see who. I don't know who his backup quarterback would have been.
He doesn't run a backup QB, I don't think.
Yeah, he doesn't have a backup QB.
So he went with his only choice, and it seemed to be the right one. So another win for Toots? 2-0.
I think so.
No, I'm telling lies there.
Yep.
That isn't Toots.
It's not.
It's not Toots.
It's Matt Moore.
It's Matt Moore. Matt Moore beat Tim Lacey. Sorry, Matt Moore. I'm sure he'll enjoy being on the phone.
That's Matthew Moore, the Newcastle upon Tyne resident, not Matthew Moore, the ex-Miami Dolphins.
Ex-Miami Dolphins football player. So next, we are on Matthew Two Teams Hurley's matchup with Sir Robert Rafton. But as we correctly pointed out, he did win by a monumental 40 points.
Well,
He's got Big Ben rocking those 40 points nearly. 38 points from Ben Roethlisberger.
The only reason that Antonio Brown is good, apparently.
Well, this is the thing, though. Who is the Steelers' backup quarterback at the minute? I honestly don't know that.
I couldn't tell you. I don't
Is
know.
it Landry Jones? It was Landry Jones for a while.
Rings a bell. Again, looking through these, there's little that Rob could have done to stop the juggernaut that is Matthew Hurley. Jumping over to big shout out to Ben Keep and
Colin
Wright, the drafter extraordinaire, Colin Wright, who has also just destroyed this week.
It's because he's picked up sensation Patrick Mahomes, who, for his first 2 starts this season, looks legit.
Just phenomenal. However, Benji threw up Kirk Cousins, who scored 33 points.
Yeah, Cousins had a good game this week, to be fair. He threw an absolutely ridiculous touchdown to tie the game up right towards the end.
Unfortunately, the only person who could have done better with their bench is in fact Cole, but I think there's nearly 50 points difference. I think
Has he got
we'll
his backup QB's Deshaun Watson?
Yeah.
He scored a fairly
22 points. He's got Flacco as well.
3 QBs.
Your favourite.
That is ridiculous.
I nearly won the Flacco jersey this evening.
Oh,
and we're finishing up with Crimea, Phil Rivers, Sir Philip Walls, and the legend Thomas Quinn, who Thomas Quinn's managed to cinch a victory here. He's got a player on his lineup who scored him 0 points. He's left 30 with Ryan Fitzpatrick on the bench.
Yeah, but as I said in the group on Sunday,
You did say.
if you've got Aaron Rodgers, you don't bench Aaron Rodgers in a fantasy team.
Nobody would ever bench.
So you can't be complaining when your backup quarterback scores more fantasy points.
Oh, would you look at that? So, James, I don't know if you've looked at the standings this week. Paul, you're just going to be ecstatic about this, Paul.
I already know what you're going to say.
Matthew Tutti Hurley sitting pretty at the top. To be fair, he is joint first with Cole. Yourself, James, sitting up there in a joint first position. Matthew Moore all sitting at first. Closely followed by...
So there's 4 people
at first.
2-0, undefeated.
Dropping down...
Congratulations, James. Well played.
To 5th place, we've got Rob Rafton, Liam Davies, Thomas Quinn, and myself. That's nice. And then dropping down to joint 9th, we've got Phil Walls, Tim Lacey.
Joint 9th, in other words, last place.
Paul Williams, and unfortunately, your boy Benji is in last. So that's the fantasy. So James, how does it feel to be up there with the top boys?
Oh, it's a little bit of a nosebleed up there, isn't it? But
it's way up there because the next position is joint
narrowest
5th.
of margins, was it? 6 points difference between for and against on there. So
yeah. So
I don't think we can bank on this too much.
No, sadly not.
But me against Matthew Moore next week.
Oof! Big Newcastle derby. Excellent.
Indeed, the best man versus the groom.
There you go.
Well, there we go. So I watched some games. I want to get your boys' input. I've got something on here that's fairly bold. So I'm going to start with the bottom of my list. Weirdly enough, the Rams 2-0. What do we think about this?
James, you want to lead off on that one?
The Rams, they've got outstanding playmaker in Gurley. They're going to be challenging for everything. The defense looks outstanding, so they're constantly going to be ahead. They're going to be running the ball. They're going to be absolutely hammering any offense that comes into them. I think you've got to put them in a divisional sort of top 2.
Yeah, I was going to say I'll be amazed if they're not one of the top 2 seeds.
Yeah.
If they don't get a bye, then there's going to be some absolutely fantastic teams. I think the only thing that goes against them is the fact that the NFC is quite stacked.
It is.
There's a lot of good teams.
Yeah, this is usually where they start to fall down because, unfortunately, they just come up against good teams. And for a couple of seasons, they've been all over the shop. I mean, I watched the All or Nothing that was them, and like an entire season of TV kind of ended partway through the season because their season was over, and they were like, their coach got fired partway through, and yeah, it was just like. You probably picked the wrong team for this one.
Well, who was it? Was it the Falcons that beat him in the wild card round last season?
I mean, the Falcons are always good. You know, they're generally always playing pretty well. You're going to see them more often than not heading for, you know, semis at least. I mean.
To be honest, I think James covered it perfectly when he said they've arguably got the best running back in the league in Todd Gurley. In his first,
the way David Johnson's playing,
exactly. He's looking a bit.
But then they benched him, didn't they? Partway through the game.
Yeah, they were far enough ahead. They were comfortable.
Yeah, there was absolutely no need for him to risk him for the rest of the game. It's that sort of game where. It's a nothing game, and all it takes is someone to roll up on him or something like that. If he's in the pile and he's out for the season with a torn ACL.
Yeah. I mean, at this point in time, when you're playing as well as you are, you really don't want to be going out because I mean, how many times do we hear week 2 season-ending injury?
Well, I think it's just part of the course. You tend to get. I'd be amazed if you go back through the stats. There won't be a single week where a player on a team has gone out has gone for the season.
Yeah.
Because that's just big.
So I'm going to jump to the top of my list. Did anybody see the Patriots game?
I was watching Red Zone, so I saw bits of it, but not much.
Am I the only one that feels that Brady's maybe lost a step? He does not look comfortable on that field. And let's not forget that this is the second week in a row that they have lost.
No, they won the week before.
Oh, they lost the first week?
No, they were playing the Texans and they won.
Oh, then I am completely wrong now. But he did not look comfortable. He looked... I mean, he was throwing all over the shop, and that's a sign that Brady's not all right in the Brady camp.
So what you're thinking is just getting a bit old, or
all I've been hearing is that him and Belichick have fallen out. They've had this big falling out, and it's starting to sound a little bit like he doesn't want to play. I mean, we had all the stuff at the beginning of the season where he didn't show up for practice, and people were unsure whether he was coming back.
It's a strange one, but at the end of the day, he's Tom Brady.
He's Tom Brady,
and they're going to make the playoffs. They're going to win the division. They're going to get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
They're probably going to get at least one home game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, you know, let's face it. You start the season, you put 50p on the Patriots being at the Super Bowl, and you've got a fair chance of that bet coming in. You know, I do it every year, and I'm like, you know, I'm not, as anybody will tell you, I'm not the biggest Patriots fan, and I'm certainly not the biggest Brady fan, but I'll certainly always put 50p on that bet because you've got a decent chance that that's going to come in.
I do know what you mean though. Like from bits of the game that I did see, he didn't look entirely comfortable.
He didn't.
So how do you think Gordon coming in is going to affect that?
It's a very, as I said in our WhatsApp group today, it's a very Patriot pick.
Yeah, it is. Let's go the Patriots.
They seem to have this knack of picking up receivers that haven't quite fit in other teams.
Yeah.
And maybe they only get a season or two out of them, but they get production out of them.
Yeah.
And obviously Gordon's young enough where he can stay there for a while.
Yeah. I think it's a good move. It doesn't surprise me that they've done it. Like you say, it's a very Patriots move. So I'm happy to see where it goes.
Yeah.
I think it's going to take some pressure off Gronk and let him open up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. At the moment, pretty much all their production seems to be coming through. I know they've got Chris Hogan. Did he get 2 touchdowns on Sunday? He certainly got 1.
Yeah.
But he seems to be a bit of an outlet, but.
It was a bit of a non-event at that point.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, they were too much in the hole. But there was about a 5 or so minute period where they scored a touchdown, I think, and then forced a turnover.
They did.
And they almost got something going again. And
Yeah, I
think a few of the Jags fans there were probably thinking, this is eerily similar to the AFC Championship game. But obviously they managed to.
Which the commentators were saying at the time. They were like, "Oh, here we go." So, Case Keenum at the Broncos. Is it me, or does that feel like a good fit? I saw a couple of plays in the Broncos game, and there was the point where he was getting everybody to be in the right place at the right time, so that they could they could snap the ball and start the play. And he waited until everybody was in the right place, and then he was moving players left, right, and centre, going, "Oh, you need to be over there," and he seems to be actually running that team. He's like, "Oh, let's hang on here, let's do this, let's hurry up, let's do that. You need to be over there. Whoa, where are you going? Get that side." And he seems to be what the Broncos need after certainly a season of complete uncertainty. He looked really comfortable. I was quite impressed. No?
Yeah,
You've never been a fan.
he's solid. He's probably better. Well, fair to say, better for NFL than fantasy.
Yeah. I was going to say he's not. He's a bit like, from what I've seen, he's almost a bit like Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor. Apparently is.
No, he came out and said it was Tyrod.
I thought he'd said that apparently it was Tyrod, but
he did, and then he changed it.
Oh, so he's changed his mind twice.
I think he's just messing with us at this point.
He's a strange fella. Yeah, he strikes me as a bit similar to a Tyrod Taylor type quarterback in that he doesn't take an awful lot of deep shots down the field. He's a very conservative passer, so he's not going to force a lot of turnovers.
He's more than happy to throw a short pass. Yeah, he's got absolutely no issues just throwing a short pass to whoever. But yeah, I thought it looked real comfortable.
I'd want to see him. This is other than last season with Minnesota. I think this is his first proper run as a lead guy.
Yeah.
So I'd want to see him with a few more games under his belt as that. But yeah, he could be a good fit for him. They've obviously put the faith in him to sort of say they want him for the next 5-10 years or whatever.
Yeah,
so.
and I'm interested to see how it goes. Right, I want to get your boys' opinion. My last thing on my list reads like this. I'm going to read it slowly so you can both take it in, breathe in this statement. Jaguars, Super Bowl, ? Go. Is this the year the Jaguars make it to the Super Bowl? Yes or no? They have hands down the best defense at this point in time.
I'm not quite enough, but it's quite a lot.
It's. Can you ever? It's not a popular thing. Well, I think it is a popular thing to say because everyone say. Can you ever fully put your faith in a Blake Bortles?
Blake Bortles, no.
But it's a Blake Bortles led team, and he looked good on Sunday. To be fair,
he did.
But
he looked really good. He's had 2 good weeks.
Yeah, I think the only problem is that I almost equate him to a bit like a Titus Bramble in a footballing term. You know that he's got an absolute rick in him at some point. It's just when he's going to play.
Yeah, when is he going to drop that bastard? I mean, they came close last season.
Well, I went to like a minute and
they were
20
play off going to the Super Bowl. So And I think they might have been hungry. And I will say this at the start of every single season, and I will say it at the start of every single Super Bowl. The team with the best defense wins the Super Bowl, and their defense is good.
But not last. So the last Super Bowl wasn't won by a defense. If anything, the two defenses were terrible.
Yeah.
So
generally say mediocre for the Eagles, and improving by the back half of the season for the Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, for some reason, I've just never liked the Pats D. It's always looked a bit suspect to me.
The Patriots D hasn't been good for a few years. A few years back they had a really good defense, and then it's dropped off over the last couple of years.
Well, that first, was it about 6 weeks last year? It's like, if you're playing the Pats, you just fire up every play you can.
Yeah, exactly.
And then suddenly they amazing after that, but they were good enough to support the rest of the team.
Yeah, that's the thing. But again, it just comes back to you'd always fancy them. They're always going to be in or around the AFC Championship game.
Yep.
So they're always going to get to the Super Bowl. I think it's just because the AFC's it's definitely not as stacked as the NFC. You've maybe got 4 teams in there that are probably there or thereabouts that are going to be challenging at the end of the season.
Yeah. I just think this could be their year, especially after what the Eagles did last year. I think I wouldn't be surprised if I saw the Jaguars in this year's Super Bowl. I don't know how to make the app tell us who's playing who next week.
So look.
All I can see is my schedule for next week. James, who are you playing in this week?
I've got Matthew Moore this week.
Oh yes, as we've discussed.
Yeah.
What are you thinking of the outcome on that's going to be? Another win for yourself?
Oh, I don't know. He's got a solid team, but we've both been scoring roughly similarly, so we shall see.
Let's
see what he's done the first 2 weeks. I should do more of the trash talk, but I'll.
Yeah, it's something that our league has never really done. There's never really been all that much trash talk. I think last season my intention was on the first day of the season to send a message to every single person with one insult and just see if I could get something going, and it never came off.
WhatsApp shit sippers sort of stuff.
Maybe we should just do it now. Maybe we should just get it in real early.
Get the shit chatting.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Why have you made me look at this? Why have you made me look at this straight off the bat? So, here's the schedule, James, for next week. I have to deal with everybody's favourite NFL fantasy football player, Matthew 2T's Hurley. That's a loss in my book.
So Jay, what you'll sort of get to understand is that I don't know if has Matt Hurley offered you a trade yet.
No, I think I've been the speculative trade guy this year.
Oh no. So far from what I've seen, you haven't offered up any absolutely horrendous trade offers. But Matthew's the kind of guy who will
look at your team,
request
your best, hands down best player, and will offer you the single worst player on his team, and expect you to go, yeah, that sounds legit.
I mean, it's the sort of thing where he'd probably. So I've got Ezekiel Elliott. At some point this season, I would not be surprised to have a Ezekiel Elliott for a Zane Gonzalez trade offer.
I fully agree with that.
And he will expect that to be.
And he'll be like, that's just going to go straight through.
he'll expect that to be a perfectly standard, acceptable trade offer.
So myself is going up against 2 teams. That's a win for Toots. Paul Williams, how are you feeling about your matchup against Miss Leanne Davies? She's a sly fox. That.
The only thing I can think is that I think both weeks I've been beaten by 4 points each week.
You are at this point in time. You are projected to win, but at this point in time, I mean literally.
Yeah,
nothing.
projections in our league being absolutely shit on.
Matt Moore versus JFG. At this point in time, James, you are projected to win, but again, doesn't mean much.
Not a whole lot, yeah. Although news breaking today that Tony Brown's not turned up to practice, so if Matt's banking on him.
Really? To be fair, Matt Moore's Matt Moore's lineup is missing a player according to this, so it could be Antonio Brown. He is 8 to play. We've got Colin Wright versus Tim Lacey. That's an interesting matchup.
Basically, Cole should win all his matchups this season if Mahomes keeps playing to the standard he's playing.
I mean, he's up there with the numbers.
Because he's going to be putting 30 points up every week.
But I will never bet against Tim Lacey. So that's going to be an intro. That's my that could be my.
He knows how to put a team.
That could be my pick of the week.
Wow.
Next matchup is Thomas Quinn versus Robert Rafton. Early reports say it's a win for the boy Rafton, but we'll see. Philip Walls versus Benjamin Keep. Phil could be taking his first win on that one, according to the numbers. But at this point in the week, the numbers mean nothing. As for the games, James, who have you got? Browns versus the Jets. Yeah.
Browns of week, so Jets of week 1. If they turn up, they'll smash it. But yeah. I've got that hard knock soft spot for the Browns. I think they're going to get that one. I think they're going to get their first proper win.
I'm kind of liking the Browns this season, and that's hard for me to say.
They've got the underdog.
They really have, and I really want to see them do well.
They've got everyone on their side. Everyone's second team is the Browns.
I think I've got a 5 on them to get the wild card.
Really?
No. Oh yeah.
Excellent. What odds did you get on that?
Hope. Oh, I got 20 to 1, I think.
Jesus.
Nice.
To be fair, if you look at the team, their defense is good.
Yeah,
they're building a really good
They're
defense.
building a good team. I said it before the season started, and I'm still saying it today. I'm interested to see what the Browns do this season. I don't expect to see them at the Super Bowl. I am interested to see what they're going to do, and I think in a couple of years' time, if they keep building this team, they could be a contender.
Well, the Browns.
They need to fire Hugh Jackson, though. Let's be honest.
Well. But I mean, so he's been there for 2 seasons now. This is his 3rd season, yeah.
Yeah.
And his combined record is now 1 win,
16,
1 tie, and nearly 30 losses.
Nearly 30 losses. The fact that he's still in a job is nothing short of a miracle. But hey.
But what I was going to say was, they should use the Jags as their sort of inspiration.
They really should.
Look how bad the Jags were 3-4 seasons ago. They consistently were finishing in the bottom, or in the top 4 draft picks.
Yeah, there was teams you could literally write off from the start of the season, and the Jags were one of them.
But they've done well because the first thing that the Browns have done for the past couple of years, they've not done well for a while, is draft well.
Yeah, they were drafting so.
But if you go back through, because they were always within the first 5 picks.
Yeah.
And the amount of first picks that they've wasted over the years is ridiculous.
Yeah. James, Vikings versus the Bills. Who you got?
Oh my God!
Oh, poor Bills.
I know.
You've got to feel bad for them this year, haven't you? Yeah, they've got a really tough opening schedule, and they're your 3 points, aren't they? Really?
Yeah.
I mean, Shady's not getting any service at all. Is Josh Allen going to be any better after a couple of games?
Don't know.
That's the thing. They've kind of painted themselves into a corner, haven't they, really? Because the guy who started week 1, I can't even remember his name.
Don't know.
Nathan Peterman.
That's the guy.
Yeah,
clearly,
we can all just swiftly forget it again after
I
that.
was going to say, clearly he's not the guy to be quarterback in that team.
No.
Josh Allen's a young quarterback, but the game he played on Sunday, he didn't look terrible. But at the end of the day, he's a young quarterback. He needs he needs weapons around him to stop to make himself not look absolutely woeful.
The short version is if you could be the best quarterback in the world, if you've got nothing to throw to, you've got nothing to throw to.
Again, going back to Steve, my friend who lives in Spain, he's got a bet this season on the Bills to concede the most points and score the least points. So
that's probably not a bad choice.
It's looking
probably
pretty,
not a bad choice,
it's looking pretty locked up so far. The only thing that might sort of screw him over on that one is the Cardinals don't look that good.
Oh God, they didn't get past the 50-yard line at all until the last play or something ridiculous like that.
There was a podcast I was listening to earlier in the week. I think it's the Around the NFL podcast. The guys that sort of turn up on Sky Sports every now and again. And they said that they did a rundown of the Cardinals' plays for the entirety of the game, and it was something like punt, turnover, punt.
Yeah, first down, was it?
Yeah, that's something absolutely criminal like that. But yeah, they look pretty bad.
Yeah. James, Texans, Giants. Give us your pick.
I like the Giants this year, but I think that's going to be close. It could be a really fun game, or it could just be a tedious slugfest.
I was going to say that's going to be one of those games. It's either going to be like 40-42 or something, or it's going to be all field goals.
And let's not forget, Eli Manning doesn't wake up until game 6, so that he'll be sleeping his way through it.
He's getting on a bit, it takes a while to get going.
A game that feels a little bit old school NFL football. The Redskins versus the Packers.
That's who's at home there? Is it the Packers at home or is it? Oh no, they've had 2 home games. They must be away. They must be at the Skins.
Good question.
Stadium, FedEx Field.
Yeah, so that's the Packers at the Skins. That could be tough. That because Skins worked great in week 2, but Skins week 1 looked all right.
Yeah. I mean, in that scenario, I'll always pick the Packers. I'm always going to pick the Packers.
Well, when you've got this guy quarterback in your team,
yeah,
it's hard to back against an Aaron Rodgers team.
It's always going to be until he's not there. James, did you give us a pick on that one?
I'm probably leaning towards Green Bay, but I'm not sure I can quite work that one out. I don't know enough about watching this season.
Chiefs 49ers. Go.
49ers.
Whoa! Backing against Pat Mahomes. Big call.
Indeed.
Big call.
Niners are going to get it.
Jimmy G throwing bombs all over the place.
Yeah, just the handsomest touchdowns of all time.
I don't know if I can pick one. I don't know.
I was having this conversation with Steve, shock. If you had to pick a quarterback, wide receiver, tight end, running back, core of all the teams in the NFL at this time, you have to go for the Chiefs.
So picking the whole lot all from one team.
Yeah, if you were to take a team's 4, you have to take theirs because they just look stout, so good.
Yeah,
Tyreek Hill's probably one of the best utility players I've ever seen. He's catching passes, he's returning punts for touchdowns, he's returning kickoffs for touchdowns.
Yeah, you got a point there. I might be swayed on that. James, Dolphins, Raiders. Give us your pick.
Well, Dolphins are off to a flyer, aren't they?
They really are. Done really well.
Can't quite work out how, because I've got Kenny and Drake on the team, and it doesn't seem to be working the magic for me. But not this team, different. This team. Sorry, my life. I think we're going to go Miami. Oakland are just looking. They just don't quite know what they're doing.
Yeah, they don't. They literally can't dial it in quite yet.
I don't know why they agreed to the Khalil Mack trade. bizarre, that one.
Yeah,
because half their moves said we're going for it this year, and then half their moves said we're going to build for the future.
Yeah, very strange.
James, Eagles, Colts.
The Colts are looking harder to break down. I thought Wentz is supposed to be back, so probably got to go for the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going Eagles on that one.
I agree on that one. Although it might be interesting to see, because I wouldn't be surprised if he throws like a couple of picks. First game back.
He's not going to go straight back to 100%, is he?
Yeah, I'm a little worried about putting him in week 1 back, but I'm probably still going to put him in anyway. Jaguars, Titans.
Jags.
It's Jags, isn't it? It's just Jags
Should
all
be.
over the shop. One of the quietest teams in the NFL at this point in time. Panthers versus the Bengals. When was the last time we had a conversation about the Panthers?
I like the sound of that game. That sounds like it could be game of the week for me. Bengals looking better than they probably should be.
Yep.
Panthers probably underperforming slightly.
Yep. Isn't it?
Bengals and Bucks as my sort of surprises of the season so far.
Yeah, the Bucks have been really, really good. Well, it's just all about Fitzmagic, isn't it?
Fitzmagic.
Big pimping Conor.
Oh my God! Seriously,
that freaking picture.
Conor McGregor's long lost brother. He looked just like him.
In fact, as a treat, if I've got time, I'm going to try and cut that picture into this part of the podcast. I'll check on the licensing around it, but I'm pretty sure that if you can get it off the internet, you can stick it in. So I'm gonna. Ravens, Broncos.
Asked me 2 weeks ago, I'd say Ravens, but I'm not so sure now.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that one. I have always had and probably will always have a soft spot for the Broncos. It's just
I have a soft spot for the Ravens.
It's just one of those things that I will probably always have a soft spot for the Broncos. So in that scenario, I'm going to lean Broncos.
See, at the minute,
I liked what I saw on Sunday.
At the minute, I don't like the Ravens, but it's only because I absolutely detest Joe Flacco.
I nearly want a Flacco jersey. Just for that.
But is he elite is the question. Where is he on the elite thermometer?
It's insane. I know he won him a Super Bowl and stuff like that, but didn't he get the highest contract at the time of any quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Big money.
It's just because he's got a big arm, and that's not a reason to be giving loads of money.
That's what she is. James, Falcons, Saints.
Probably got to lean the Saints on that one, but their defence has not looked good this season.
Tell me about it. I lost 19 points week 1 to the fucking Saints defence, so you can stick that as far as it'll go. The Saints can quite frankly do one, other than the fact that I've got Drew Brees, and depending how Wentz is playing, I might end up playing. Yeah, Drew Brees to me is like Ingram.
Drew Brees is a standard. If you have him,
he's going to put points on the ball.
I'd put him in the same bracket as Aaron Rodgers. If you've got Drew Brees in your roster, start him every week.
Playing. Yeah.
Start him every week. He's guaranteed fantasy points.
Rams, Chargers. Chargers, another quiet team.
Well, Rams, Chargers.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been picking that as the Super Bowl game. So a lot of people have been saying a Los Angeles Super Bowl.
Why?
A lot of people fancy the Chargers.
Who are these people? Why are they so insane?
Experts.
James?
I mean, I've got to say I've been in another league. I've been enjoying the what's his name?
Melvin Gordon?
Philip Rivers. Melvin Gordon stack.
Crimea Philip Rivers.
Oh God. Yeah, I'm like that's a tough game, that, because depending on who's at home. If it's the Rams at home, I'd fancy them heavily. Whereas if the Chargers are at home, I'd still take the Rams, but I think the Chargers could put some points on.
It's the Rams at home.
Oh, in that case, they're going to absolutely smoke them.
I say that. It's LA, so it's the Chargers.
It's either or.
It's either or, isn't it? They're both in LA.
Is it the StubHub Centre?
It is Memorial Coliseum. It's the
Rams are at home.
Cardinals, Bears. Does anybody care?
Bears looked alright last night. Khalil Mack, he's always going to get pressure. Always going to put pressure on the quarterback.
If you had to pick one,
Bears.
James
Cardinals look terrible.
Yeah, probably the Bears. But yeah, kind of tallest midget competition on that one.
Yeah, the Bears look alright, man. Another soft spot of mine: Seahawks versus the Cowboys.
Oh God. The Cowboys have no receiving corps.
No.
Yeah, I think the Seahawks are going to get the win there.
Yeah, I'm going to go Seahawks, but the Seahawks have been struggling since the days when they were actual Super Bowl contenders.
Well, they
destroyed the Legion of Boom.
The defense has just been steadily getting worse with the amount of plays they keep losing.
Yeah.
So.
Which they could mitigate if they had some decent receivers, which are dropping like flies.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've always liked Brandon Marshall. I've always thought he was good. If he can stay fit.
Yeah, I think was good is the issue though.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. He's getting on a bit now, but he'll always haul in targets and stuff like that. It's just whether they can keep him fit, I suppose.
And the last two games: Lions, Patriots. James?
Probably the Patriots.
Yeah, that's the tone in his voice there was. Oh God!
Here we go.
Another Pats win.
Patriots will win that one. Part of me wants to be a little controversial now, Lions, just for shit.
They've got to get started somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's Matt Patricia going back up against the Patriots.
Revenge game.
And finally, the Buccaneers versus the Steelers.
What has happened to the Steelers D this year?
I'd say just as a whole. I mean, like, fair enough, Big Ben was putting up points on Sunday.
He really was.
But, yeah, the defence was not helping him out.
No, it really wasn't.
And if, like James said, if Antonio Brown's not...
That's interesting. James, is there a reason? Or he's just not.
I think it stems back to this tweet. I think it was yesterday. There was someone was, you're only getting paid as a great wide receiver because you got Ben Roethlisberger, and he was basically trade me and see. It was some kind of hack beat reporter who sent it, but now he's apparently not turned up for the Monday meeting and sort of tape watch they do.
Has anybody ever seen Antonio Brown's workout?
No.
Oh Jesus, the man's a monster. I got an email the other day. Somebody was doing a workout with him, and the man's just an absolute monster. So yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting. Anything? Any more reflections? Week 2. Any hopes for week 3, boys?
Yes, I'd like to not get beaten by single digits, please.
Ooh, can I not get beaten as well? Oh, I'm definitely going to lose this week. Fucking toots. Tune in next week, podcast listeners and viewers, for our wonderful league person Matthew Hurley will be here with us. Might not even be here, to be honest. James, any hopes for this week? Any feelings about the last week?
Trying to get my best ever fantasy performance of having 3-0. Both low scoring teams going in, so I reckon we can do it.
3-0 would put you probably. Well, it's going to put you again joint first if the other 4 people. But one of those 4 can't win.
Yeah, exactly. So one of either you or Matt is dropping.
Is going 3-0.
Sadly.
Indeed.
And someone's going 2-1. Boom.
Aye.
And I'll be going 1-2.
I'll probably end up 0-3. I'm pulling for an 0-13 regular season.
0-13 regular season. Let's see if we can get you that.
I want to be the Browns.
The Browns of our fantasy league. Bless.
Reverse placing draft picks.
Yeah, you sort of dropped out a bit then, James. Just say that again.
Maybe we can do reverse placing draft picks next year.
Well, I don't understand why it doesn't do it that way anyway.
Because it works on the principle that you're not going to play each year, so it's just a one-off.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just a one-off selection.
That is very
I do every
if you've
year.
got a good stable league.
every year I always think we should probably look into the setup of the setup of the league a little bit.
I'm intrigued by dynasty leagues, because that's where like
Dynasty sounds fun.
you draft your players, and that's your players for the foreseeable future.
Perfect for me. I never do anything.
So you only lose them if you trade them or if they retire, and then obviously you've got your pick of whoever's new into the league.
Yeah, let's give that a try. I'm up for that. I'd like to try that because
That sounds terrifying to me.
Perfect for me.
Or the other thing we could look at is IDPs. Don't know anything about individual
defensive players. I'm probably good on that one. JJ Watt, let's go.
Khalil Mack. Richard Sherman.
Quick, James, name a defensive player before time runs out.
Oh, Jalen Ramsey.
There you go!
Hey!
Excellent.
Has anybody got anything they want to add before we bid everyone farewell? James?
I'm good. Yeah, just who do we think? Do you reckon Des Bryant's going to the Browns?
Well, is that the last team that he met with?
I think he went to the Eagles after that, but I could be wrong.
If he does, I mean, them trading Josh Gordon to me would be a bit of a red herring if they don't get him.
It's a fair point, actually.
Because you would imagine that now they've traded Josh Gordon, one, they've got cap space, and two, they're going to need another receiver.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I go with that.
So I wouldn't be surprised.
Yes, we're attributing sort of sound tactical thinking to the Browns. So
yeah, that is also a very dangerous.
Everybody's favourite dog team. Right. Well, James, I personally would like to thank you for joining us on the podcast today. You are our first out-of-towner over the phoner. I mean, from what I can see from here, it looks like the audio's been working pretty well. And
it's just dawned on me, this finally puts to bed the fact that I have 3 teams in the league. So unless I am indeed...
yeah, we talked of a real person.
James, how much is he paying you? Tell us now. Quick.
Not enough to only be 2-0.
Quick before he hangs up. So thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it for you freeing up the time. And yeah, it adds another twist to our podcasting. So yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, no, thank you very much for having me.
No problem at all. So yeah, we'll call it a ball there. Cheers, James.
Thank you, James.
Cheers. Bye bye.
Bye.
So there you go. What do you think to that? Did you win this week? As we know, I didn't. So hey, jump over to the Cookiecast.com. Give us a shout. For you YouTube subscribers and watchers, drop a comment in the below. Tell us what you think. Do you like this? Is it good? Who knows? Yeah. So we're trying to keep this going as a weekly thing. And we will be doing our week 3 review, week 4 preview next week, and these are going up on a Thursday just before the next set of games. So yeah, give us a shout, tell us what you're thinking. Who's your pick for the Super Bowl this year? Let us know. Give us a comment in the comments box, and yeah, until next week, I'll see you then. Bye bye.